You know, in the world of chess, you have players who master the game, and then you have players who change it. Daniel Naroditsky, or Danya, as so many of us knew him, well, he did both. He wasn't just a grandmaster, he was an author, a coach, and really a pioneer who completely reshaped how millions of people connect with the game.
And this tribute from his home club, the Charlotte Chess Center, it really says it all. He wasn't just another player on the tournament circuit, no. He was someone who was, deeply woven into the very fabric of the game itself.
So it's that community that was left in just absolute shock when on October 19th, 2025, Daniel Naroditsky passed away. Unexpectedly. He was just 29 years old, and it left this painful question hanging in the air for everyone who followed him. What happened to this incredibly bright star? So to really understand the man and the legacy he left behind, we've got to go back, right back to the beginning. Because this is a story of a true child prodigy, someone whose talent was just undeniable, right from the very start.
And when I say prodigy, I mean it. His rise was, well, it was nothing short of meteoric. Think about this. At just 11 years old, he's already a world youth champion. A few years later, at 14, he becomes the youngest published chess author in history. And then, by 18, he's done it. He's secured the highest title in the game, Grandmaster. It's just incredible.
But here's the thing about Danya. Winning tournaments, that was only ever part of his story. He was driven by something deeper, a real passion to share the game, to teach it, and just to elevate it in every single way he could.
And his contributions were just so incredibly diverse. He wasn't just a player. He authored 2 amazing books. He was a Stanford grad, a prestigious Sanford Fellow, not to mention a beloved coach, and he even wrote a column for the New York Times. He really was a true ambassador for the game.
And then we get to the modern era, the online era, and this is where his influence just absolutely exploded. He didn't just, adapt to the rise of online chess. No, he became one of its most important, most pioneering voices. He brought his passion for the game to a massive new audience. Just look at this number, 800,000. That's how many people followed him across Twitch and YouTube combined. And if you ever watched him, you know why. He was a complete natural as a streamer. He had this enthusiasm, this clarity that made the absolute highest levels of chess feel accessible, exciting even, for everybody. He really pioneered a style that was less about stiff, rigid instruction and way more about just sharing the pure joy of the game.
And let's be clear, this wasn't just about a great personality. His online fame was built on a rock-solid foundation of world-class skill. This guy was consistently ranked in the top 20 on chess.com in those super fast-paced blitz and bullet formats, where intuition and speed are just everything. He could entertain and educate at the same time because he was playing at the absolute highest level, period. But his final year was marked by something else, a deeply painful and very public ordeal. See, despite his stellar reputation, he became the target of this relentless online campaign from a really prominent figure in the chess world.
So, the accuser was Vladimir Kramnik, himself a former world champion. And Kramnik repeatedly and very publicly alleged that Danya was cheating in online games. The thing is, he never provided any concrete proof. The response from the community was huge. Danya was widely defended by his colleagues, his peers, and eventually the International Chess Federation, FIDE, actually opened disciplinary proceedings against Kramnik for the whole campaign.
And even though the professional community totally had his back, reports from people who knew him, who were close to him, they confirmed that these public attacks, especially coming from a player he had once looked up to, took a really significant personal toll on him. So now, in the wake of his passing, the focus has, and rightly so, shifted away from all that controversy. It shifted to remembering his immense and overwhelmingly positive contributions to the world of chess.
Even the International Chess Federation, FIDE, announced they would be honoring him with a special posthumous award. And they specifically highlighted his contributions not just as a player, but as a teacher and a commentator. And that, well, that's just a perfect summary of the kind of multifaceted legacy he built.
You see, Daniel Naroditsky was so much more than a grandmaster who played on 64 squares. He was that prodigy who grew up to become a teacher to millions. His tragic passing leaves a huge void, one that's going to be felt for a very, very long time. And so the real question for the chess world now is this: how do we best honor the legacy of a player who truly changed the game, both on the board and way beyond it?